Attack of the Killer Carts. And yes, you heard that right. Carts. C-A-R-T-S. I am not talking about the felines. And to be honest, it seemed quite ironic actually, how something viewed as insignificant would have been what led to the end of the human race. No one had expected it, and neither could anyone explain what the heck, what in the world was going on. The end was near, and the earth was overrun. What had started as a normal day of grocery shopping for customers and employees alike had spilled into a long and twisted nightmare. When the attack happened, a few of the shoppers and employees had been able to wall themselves inside the storage unit of the grocery store. They had managed to stay hidden for weeks now. They had rationed what few supplies they could find in there, but with so many mouths, their supplies had dwindled. The survivors were faced with two choices: either stay hidden and starve to death, or sneak into the main store for supplies and risk getting slaughtered. They didn't even know if anyone was even still alive. They could very well be the Earth's last survivors. It had been days since the screaming stopped, but they occasionally caught the sound of squeaking. It had happened without any warning. They were going through their normal daily routine. Shoppers were shopping and shoppers were buying stuff. And of course, workers were working. All of a sudden, there was screaming. A woman had left her infant daughter in a shopping cart, and the cart started to move on its own and threw the baby against the wall. That was when the chaos ensued. The other carts began to come to life, ramming into people and running them over. Some even drove around with the entrails of people still hanging over them. A man who had been trying to reach for an item had been knocked to the ground when a car smashed into its legs. Before he could get up, the cart ran over his face, a wheel tearing out his eyeball and flinging it across the store as if it were some wicked bloody paint. The carts herded together and stampeded, crushing people to death due to the heavy groceries they held inside. Several carts could be seen carrying the lifeless and grotesque corpses of their victims around their baskets. The same thing was going on in every grocery store in the world. They soon went out into the streets and continued their mayhem. They seemed to have a leader directing the carnage. It was different from the rest, maybe an older model. The cart was sturdier and larger than the others, with a distinctively squeaky wheel. It didn't seem possible, but it appeared to take particular joy in the murders being committed by its fellow carts. All hope seemed lost for the survivors in the store. They were still debating what they should do when they heard the door leading to the storage unit getting forced open. There was the sound of footsteps in the hall outside, and they were relieved that someone had finally come for them. Their hopes quickly faded when the footsteps outside were replaced with the sound of a distinctively squeaky wheel.